Making headlines this hour, President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu pledges to resolve the long-standing harbour challenges facing Madhuveri, Mimu Atoll, announcing that the construction of a new sheltered harbour will be accorded special priority in the forthcoming national budget. President Dr. Muizzu announces a wide-ranging development program for Diggaru, Mimu Atoll, pledging substantial investments in housing, infrastructure, education and healthcare. Maldives welcomes the announcement made by the United Kingdom, Canada and Australia formally recognizing the Palestine state. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Minha Maroof. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu pledges to resolve the long-standing harbour challenges facing Madhuveri, Mimu Atoll, announcing that the construction of a new sheltered harbour will be accorded special priority in the forthcoming national budget. In a meeting with residents, President Muizzu described the harbour issue as a very serious matter and affirmed his administration's intent to provide a permanent solution. President Muizzu outlined additional commitments to restart and complete several stalled infrastructure projects. These include the development of sports facilities, an extension to the local health centre, and the modernization of the island's football field with turf. Residents raised further concerns during the meeting, including the need to increase electricity capacity and expedite the installation of air conditioning in the local school. In response, representatives from government ministries and state-owned enterprises accompanying the president assured the committee that they would assess the status of ongoing projects and take steps to accelerate their completion. The president's itinerary of Madhuveri included scheduled consultations with the Island Council and the Women's Development Committee aimed at aligning government initiatives with local priorities. As part of his official tour of Mimu Atoll, President Muizzu attended the inauguration of the newly completed Waste Management Centre on Madhuveri. Government officials stated that the centre will provide a permanent solution to the island's persistent waste disposal challenges. The inauguration marks one of several development milestones during the president's tour, which also serves as a platform to assess local needs and communicate the administration's broader development agenda. President Muizzu arrived on Madhuveri as the 14th stop on his current tour of 4 atolls. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu announces a wide-ranging development program for Diggaru, Mimu Atoll, pledging substantial investments in housing, infrastructure, education and healthcare. Responding to the long-standing concerns over housing shortages, President Muizzu committed to a 2-phase residential expansion, describing it as Diggaru's most urgent priority. He confirmed that construction of an initial 75 housing units would begin within the year. Plans to upgrade Diggaru's harbour were also outlined, with the president citing the need for expanded capacity and structural repairs. The harbour development has been designated a high-priority initiative, with construction scheduled to begin in early 2026. Attention turned to the island's educational facilities, where space constraints at Diggaru School have prompted the government to propose a new building. The planned structure will include 9 classrooms and a multi-purpose hall and is expected to be incorporated into the 2026 national budget. President Muizzu described Diggaru as a fishing island and assured residents that they would benefit from broader reforms in the national fisheries sector. While acknowledging that certain developments require time, he emphasized that phased implementation does not constitute a failure to deliver. Among the additional commitments were the resumption of stalled work on sports facilities, including the football ground, a fitness and recreational center, and a volleyball court. During the visit, representatives from the Diggaru Island Council, the Women's Development Committee (WDC), and local institutions presented a detailed account of the island's development needs. These included the expedited upgrade of the harbour and the extension of essential utilities, water, storage, and electricity to the newly reclaimed area. A key milestone of the president's visit was the signing of a contract to construct a new 30-bed hospital on Diggaru, fulfilling a major electoral pledge. Valued at $6.82 million, the project has been awarded to MTCC with a completion timeline of 540 days. The president also marked the completion of the coastal protection project for the Garo's newly reclaimed land. The reclamation, which added 25 hectares to the island to address land scarcity, was finalized in 2023. Subsequent protection works executed by MTCC at a cost exceeding $1.14 million included the installation of a 700-meter rock boulder revetment, a 138-meter outer seawall, and a 332-meter geobag revetment to safeguard the new landmass. President Muizu's arrival in the Garo, the 13th island on his tour and the first of the day, was met with a warm public reception. President Dr. Mohamed Muizu announces a comprehensive development agenda during a multi-atoll tour, outlining a strategic framework that prioritizes national digitalization, long-term planning, and targeted infrastructure investment. Central to the president's address was the introduction of a 20-year national development plan described as essential to his administration's goal of transforming the Maldives into a developed nation by 2040. He underscored that this ambition requires equitable development across all islands irrespective of population size. To ensure the plan reflects public priorities, President Muizu called for the full consultation and active participation of the citizens and their respective councils. Dedicated teams will be deployed to conduct direct consultations with island communities. The roadmap is scheduled for inauguration in January 2026, followed by a public feedback phase. Implementation is expected to begin in July, subject to citizen approval. The national strategy includes the Maldives 2.0 initiative, a comprehensive digitalization program that will receive a significant share of the national budget beginning in 2026. The government aims to digitize all public services by that year, with continued development through 2027 and into early 2028. The initiative is positioned as a collaborative effort between the government and the private sector. The project will integrate services across councils, ministries, the banking system, state-owned enterprises, and the judiciary into a unified digital network. President Muizu described the system as critical to curbing corruption and maintaining public trust. Once operational, it will serve as the primary platform for citizens to access government services. He confirmed that major work on the initiative will proceed as planned, supported by the 2027 and 2028 budgets. Recognizing Mulah's role as a fishing island, the president announced plans to establish a cold storage facility funded through foreign grant aid. During his visit, an agreement was signed to construct a 30-ton ice plant, with the contract executed by Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shyam and Dr. Iqlil Sharif, director at Three-Way Enterprises Private Limited. The president also committed to a rapid timeline for infrastructure upgrades. Road construction is expected to be completed within 4 months, alongside the establishment of a new fitness and recreation center. The island's health center will be upgraded to a hospital, with a new ambulance to be provided within the year. During the visit, construction work officially commenced on the Mulah Harbour development project. In a separate development, construction work commenced on a new police station in Mulah. Mulah marked the 12th stop on President Dr. Mohamed Muizu's ongoing tour of inhabited islands across 4 atolls, with Memo Atoll being the 3rd visited. President Dr. Mohamed Muizu assures residents of Weva, Memo Atoll that their concerns will be addressed promptly. During the meeting, the president of Weva Council, Mamdood Wahid, highlighted that a project had been launched with a Dubai-based company to implement an integrated tourism project alongside some other islands in the atoll. He noted this project aims to boost the island's prosperity and increase council revenue. As part of this project, 2 hectares of land have been allocated to implement a 320-room tourism project, with work on 85 rooms already launched. The council president noted although the project was undertaken in consultation with relevant agencies, it has now come to a standstill within the administration. Therefore, he requested a swift solution to the matter. Members of the community highlighted several socio-economic needs. They requested the development of sports facilities, the creation of an enabling environment for tourism on the island, the initiation of a housing project, and measures to address space constraints at school. They noted that work on the island's football ground had also stalled. In response, the president assured the community that development projects earmarked for the island would be implemented at an accelerated pace. He confirmed that a harbour development project would be included in the 2026 budget and pledged to resolve the space constraints at the school by the beginning of the 2026 academic year. He announced that practical work on health projects such as upgrading the health centre will commence this year, while the futsal field will be completed during the current year. A volleyball court will be included in next year's budget. The island's water and sewerage project is also expected to reach completion within 2 months. The new council building for Veva Island Council was inaugurated as part of the president's visit to the island. The president inaugurated the building alongside Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works Adam Sharif Umar and the Member of Parliament for Constituency as well as the council's president. The foundation stone for the new police station to be developed in Veva was also laid by the Minister of Homeland Security and Technology Ali Ihsan as part of the president's visit. The president's visit to Veva marks his 11th stop during his ongoing tour of 4 atolls. Ahmad Nazim, Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, defends the administration of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu, asserting that its policy decisions, though subject to public criticism, are essential to securing the nation's long-term stability and development. Addressing residents of the Garu Mimu Atoll during a meeting with President Muizzu, Deputy Speaker Nazim described the government's actions as deliberate and necessary. He framed them as part of a broader effort to reverse economic stagnation and confront structural challenges. The Deputy Speaker acknowledged the difficult fiscal conditions inherited by the administration, but pointed to recent progress as evidence of its effectiveness. He said attention has also turned to long-standing social issues. Deputy Speaker Nazim cited efforts to regulate undocumented migrant workers, combat the national drug epidemic, and safeguard judicial independence as indicative of the government's resolve. Although some measures have drawn public criticism, Deputy Speaker Nazim maintained that both the government and Parliament have acted in the nation's best interest. He described decisions concerning foreign currency, narcotics, and media regulation as vital to preserving social cohesion. Looking ahead, Deputy Speaker Nazim outlined the Parliament's legislative agenda, including proposed amendments to the Decentralization Act. He stated that the reforms aim to enhance the efficiency of local councils and improve public service delivery. The legislative work, he added, will be undertaken to ensure that citizens can fully experience the sweet benefits of the decentralized system. Maldives welcomes the announcement made by the United Kingdom, Canada and Australia formally recognizing the Palestine state. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a statement hailed the announcement as a significant development in the pursuit of peace and stability in the region, adding that it underscores a growing international consensus on the urgency of achieving peace, security and dignity for the people of Palestine. Hours after the announcement, Portugal also joined UK, Canada and Australia to recognize a Palestinian state in a move intended to promote a two-state solution. The decision by 4 nations from the West, which has traditionally allied with Israel, aligned them with more than 140 other countries also backing Palestinians' aspiration to forge an independent homeland from the occupied territories. UK's decision carried particular symbolism given its major role in Israel's creation as a modern nation in the aftermath of World War II. Other nations, including France, are expected to follow suit this week at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. We will be back after Isha prayers.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدًا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وابعثه مقامًا محمودًا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين
PSM ಗೆ ಟಿವಿ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ತಕ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ತ ಮಿಹಾರು PSM Air ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ತಿಯ ಬೇಫ್ಲುನ್ನ ಹಿಲೆ ಬಲಾಲೆವೇನೆ ಅದಿ ಅಡುವ ಹಾಲೆವೇನೆ ದುನಿಯೆಗೆ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ತಾಗುಹುರೆಗೆ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಗಡಿಯಕು PSM ಗೆ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ತ ಬಲಾಲುಮ ಅವಹ PSM Air app ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಕುರವ್ವ ಮಿಹಾರು ಆಪ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಉನ್ನ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ ಮಿ ಆಪ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಕೊಲ್ಲವೇನೆ
ಮಗುಮಚ್ಚೆ ಸವಾಲ್ಕೊಂಡು ನುದುನು ಎಮ್ಎಫ್ ತಿಜಹುನಿ ಮುಳಿಮೂನ್ಗ ಬೆಂಡೇಜೋಳಾಕನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ತಹುಗ ನುವದಿಹ ಇನ್ಸತ್ತ ಮೀಹು ಮರವನಿ ಬೋಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾನಿ ಆಕ್ಸ ಸೈಕಲ್ ದುಬಾರು ಹೆಲ್ಮೆಟ್ ಒಳ
Welcome back to PSM News in English. A comprehensive nationwide operation to track down and deport undocumented foreign nationals and dismantle their illicit businesses has officially commenced across the Maldives. The extensive initiative announced by President Dr. Mohamed Moizu is a collaborative effort between Maldives Immigration and the Maldives Police Service (MPS), involving a significant deployment of officers. The operation follows President Dr. Moizu's pledge to address the long-standing issue of illegal immigration, which he noted had seen no major efforts for a solution previously by successive governments. He reiterated his commitment to continuing the crackdown, focusing particularly on major cities. Briefings were held to launch the multi-phase program, which aims to reduce public health hazards, ensure the safety and security of citizens, and take decisive action against both undocumented foreigners and those who facilitate their unlawful presence. The government had already begun preliminary operation last year, collecting information on 178,982 foreigners and deporting over 8,000 individuals identified as undocumented since President Dr. Moizu took office. Controller General of Immigration Ahmed Fasir highlighted the pervasive nature of illegal businesses, many allegedly run by undocumented foreigners under various guises. He also confirmed that action would be taken against those who aid and abet undocumented immigrants. Assistant Commissioner of Maldives Mohammed Daoud detailed the operation's 3 phases. The first phase will meticulously inspect the Malde area, followed by densely populated and industrial islands in the second phase, and finally smaller populated islands in the third. The initial phase of the operation has already begun, targeting undocumented foreigners operating in the capital city. Indian equity benchmarks falls, dented by information technology stocks after the US introduced a new fee structure for fresh H-1B visa applications, raising concerns about the potential impact on outsourcing and on-site project deployments. U.S. President Donald Trump imposed on Friday a $100,000 fee on new H-1B visa applications. Last year, 71% of the approved H-1B beneficiaries were Indians.
Well, market opened lower. Sensex was down by 300 points. That was on expected lines because the announcement made by U.S. President on the H-1B visas had some bearing for very limited initial time of the trading. Now the markets have regained much of the losses. Sensex is down by 70 points. Near term one cannot predict, but it looks like that this news is more like it grabbed the headlines, but material impact may not be that high and that negative on the Indian IT companies as of now.
India's $283 billion IT sector, which generates about 57% of its total revenue from the United States, has long gained from American work visa programs and outsourcing of software and business services. Trump's decision has been met with mixed reactions in Washington as well. Britain's Foreign Minister Yvette Cooper says that her government wanted to keep the hope of the two-state solution alive with its decision to recognize the Palestinian state. Speaking in New York ahead of the United Nations General Assembly, Cooper said the devastation in Gaza and the expansion of West Bank settlements along with the continued holding of Israeli hostages in Gaza put any hope of peace and stability in the region at risk. Britain, Canada, Australia and Portugal all recognized a Palestinian state on Sunday, while Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned the move.
So this is a historic step and a moral step, which we're taking alongside our allies to recognise the state of Palestine in order to keep the hope of the two-state solution alive at a time when there is a real risk that it is in peril as a result of the devastation in Gaza, the continued holding of hostages and the expansion of settlements. And if we don't act now, the risk is that everyone will just turn their backs on the two-state solution that is the only lasting way to get peace and security for the region. That is why it's so important.
Israel's genocide in Gaza has killed more than 65,000 Palestinians, most of them civilians, according to local health authorities, spread famine, demolished most buildings, and displaced most of the population, often multiple times. That's all we have for now. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a pleasant day ahead.